Alright, so you consider yourself a good player. And as a good player, you're struggling to improve from there. You find yourself kind of hitting that plateau, don't see yourself really improving and getting to the next level. So I'm about to give you 5 tips that are going to help you improve in Fortnite Battle Royale. Now these tips aren't going to be in any particular order. They're just going to be in order of the way they came to my mind, and that's just going to be the order that I end up putting it out. Now before we get into this, if you'd like to support me using the supporter creator code SoldieringF1, it's just my YouTube name, just my account name. Okay, so the first tip that I have for you today is to spam your 1v1s. Get into creative mode, set it up where you can just kind of spam games and have the spawn pads and all the weapons that you need at item spawn, and you just get into a game, just keep going to a fight one after the other. But the goal is to get a lot of 1v1s in so you can practice against people that are close to your skill level or better than you. That'll allow you to push yourself and then not get this like false idea of how good you are and just keep kind of rolling over people and feel good. If you really want to improve and get better, you want to verse people that are better than you, that are going to push you, or people right around your skill level that sometimes you lose games against, sometimes you win games against. And while you're doing these things, you want to be conscious. What are they doing that's good that you could be doing better? You also want to be thinking about what you can do as a player that's different. What kind of builds can you do? What kind of things that which ways can you set them up? And then once you come up with a way, or when you see something that someone's doing to you and you want to try that, try new things in these 1v1s. Things that you normally wouldn't do in a game because you're kind of nervous about it. Try them here, try them out. If you die, then you just respawn, do it again, get into another fight. It doesn't have the pressure, or I guess there's less on the line in a normal game when you're just doing this, especially when you're doing these with friends, you're just talking and having fun, but still getting that work and still benefiting and getting better. So try your new things, play people that are better than you or right around your skill level, and you'll be a lot more comfortable and more confident when you're going into 1v1s and build battles and things like that in your game. Also, these might expose some of your weaknesses that you can work on. Tip number 2, Turtle Wars. Turtle Wars is great for close quarter combat. You can get a bunch of your friends or a bunch of random players or whatever you want to do, get into load up a Turtle Wars map setting and just go at it. It's like a death match, but it's very close quarter based, bunch of builds everywhere, and you're working on your edit kills, you're working on replacing walls and grabbing walls, re-editing. You're working on dealing with the spam from other people, having to kind of finagle your way through the builds and get away so you can set some healing back up or whatever. There's a lot of pressure coming from all different angles, third parties, fourth parties, just kind of managing all that. It's a great way to improve, and you just get into a fight one after the other, back to back to back to back to back. It's like as soon as you spawn, you're just back into the game and you get to keep working on things. Now you might be saying to yourself, how do I get into a Turtle Wars map? I don't have anybody to play with or whatever it is. How do I get into one of these things? This also is going to coincide with the 1v1s. If you don't have friends that are of that skill level, or you just don't have enough of them, or they're rarely online, or whatever your case is, if you're looking for players, hop in these discords. Mine is going to have a direct link below. You can go hit my Discord, have a great community here. But you can see right here we have these LFG sections and things like that where you can jump in and find people who are also looking for playground, do 1v1s, Turtle Wars, whatever. I also have my own Turtle Wars map already made. A link to that video is going to be below as well. And my Discord's obviously not the only one around. There's huge ones where you can find a lot of really good players in there. Look, FNPL. I feel like you can just Google this, find this. You head over to the playground section or the creative section. Look at all these people just looking for 1v1. And then look for people who are probably better than you. All these people with league names and all this kind of stuff, all these little borders and team names that are in there. Usually pretty good players. You can also find people who are setting up Turtle Wars. Go ahead, use my code for Turtle Wars, invite people to your Turtle Wars and just host it and then play with these people. But just to name a few, you can go ahead and join mine like I said before. We also have the FNPL is a big one, and then like just look up NA Atlantic Scrims. Hop in there. You also have general chat, LFG, etc, etc. Find people and go ahead and do your thing. Now my third tip for getting better and improving in the game is working on your aim. One of the most fundamentals of any FPS game. I use Kovacs. Now I also have a more in-depth video of how I go about using Kovacs in a video below that'll also be linked in there. There's many different modes and things that you can work on and mechanics that you can work on with your aim and isolation and things like that. You can work on your flicks, you can work on your tracking, work on things like your visual acuity, you can work on fast strafes, dealing with long strafes. Whatever it is that you want to work on, you can work on in Kovacs, and also simulate a 3D environment along with replicating the in-game sense and things like that of whatever game you're playing. Obviously in this case we're talking about Fortnite. It also tracks your high score, so you can work on beating your personal best, which is a great way to track your improvement. And it kind of keeps you wanting to keep going and pushing yourself and pushing your boundaries. Also, there's leaderboards. You can kind of see where you ranked up against the community. I've noticed a huge difference in my aim from where I first started using Kovacs to now. So I definitely back it and I suggest this. Now for tip number 4 for improving and getting better is join Scrims. Get yourself into scrim lobbies. Like 2 of the ones that I've already suggested in my video before, just look up Atlantis NA Scrims, look up at how to get into FNPL, hop in those discords and then just join in on all their games. There's also, I'm sure there's plenty of more. Just go ahead and look those up. T-Fault Scrims, you can just subscribe to Tfue, you get on his Scrims and then you get in. Play in Scrims because those are the closest way you're gonna replicate a tournament type game before you do a pop-up cup or something when you're actually trying to push, or like the Share the Love event when you're really trying to push your limit and get as high as you possibly can get. The best way to recreate and grow and learn is to play a lot of Scrims. Now I'll have in my Discord, like I said before, is below. When I get the chance to start hosting customs, I will be doing custom games. So if you want to get a head start on that, go ahead and jump in the Discord. You'll know and be ready for when I start posting announcements and things like that. Another good thing about just being in Scrims is there's a lot of great players in there. It's not just a type of game when you get into this crazy end game. It's also that with the people that you come across before you get to end game, or just the way having to build battle people or the way they play. Better players are going to push you to become better in order to compete with them. So for anybody who's looking to become a better player, you definitely want to raise the level of competition that you're up against. And my 4th and final tip on helping you to improve and get better at this game is to watch your deaths. Analyze your deaths. Whether it's a pub game, scrims, 1v1s, you can go into the replay system, look at what's going on, look where you messed up, look what you could have done better. Try to learn from your mistakes and then be active in trying to change those things. Like if it's a scrim, think about what you could have done better on your rotations, not just your mechanical play. Did you have to be in the position that you were in to begin with? Could you have rotated earlier? Did you rotate too early? Should you have not taken that fight? Should you have taken that fight? By analyzing your deaths, go in their replay system, and if you're doing 1v1s, go look at the enemy's perspective, see what they did right that you did wrong, see what missed opportunities there were that you didn't capitalize on. But if you're analyzing your deaths and working on learning from them, you're going to improve and you're gonna make less of those mistakes. So those are my 5 tips to helping a good player improve even further in this game. If you're working on your 1v1 ability, if you're playing games like Turtle Wars to work on these close quarter combat situations, you're improving your aim mechanics with things like Kovacs, or any other way that you find beneficial for you, whether it's some of the in-game custom matches or whatever it is. If you're putting yourself into a lot of scrim games, and if you're analyzing your deaths, you will see great improvements in your skill and grow from wherever you are currently to the place that you want to be. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think about it in the comment section. Hit that thumbs up. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, go ahead and do so, as I'm coming out with videos and guides and maps all the time. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Again, you guys have a great day.